Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Reconnect All Podcast. I am your host, Katrina D. Owen, and I am so excited to be here this morning. It is a beautiful, very warm Sunday morning here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Today's going to be talking about a subject that is near and dear to my heart. But just like any other podcast, we're going to start with deep breathing. I want you just to take 3 very deep breaths. Intentional breathing is so important. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale. One last time. How many times a day do you just take a deep breath and just let it all out? Releasing your jaw, relaxing your shoulders, just filling your lungs up with air and then just letting it out. I do it to the point where my kids used to say, "Mom, what's wrong?" And nothing is actually wrong with me. I just need to exhale. That's all. Exhale. I actually have a bracelet that says relax, unclench, and just breathe. And I wear this all the time, every day. And I pass this out at my sessions also. So people could just remember just to breathe. We all have to breathe. Today, I am doing something different. I'm not reading from a book this time. I am just going, since our subject today is Reiki, the energy healing form of Reiki. And so today I'm just going to read our Reiki precepts. Anybody who has gone through Reiki classes knows what these precepts are. And they're kind of, I wouldn't use the word commandments, guides. They're kind of guides of how we should live our life day to day. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will be grateful for every single thing. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. That's a big one. Do your work honestly. And just for today, I will give thanks and be kind to every living thing. That's a bug, that's a human, that's whatever. That's every little thing. Be kind and be grateful. Those are our Reiki precepts. Today, my guest is Jenny. If you've listened to my podcast before, I have had Jenny on here before. She is not only one of my dear friends, she is a student of mine also. She went through Reiki classes with me, and I'm so happy to have her. When I came up with this idea to talk about Reiki, she was the first person that I reached out to because she has gone, she's just gone way out there since her first Reiki session with me. And then she's gone through the classes. Her life has just her life is just totally awesome. And so, hello, Jenny, how are you doing?
Hey, as you were saying that, I remember it's like I had a remembrance of us as souls planning this out so you could help me remember. You know? I'm so grateful for you and for our connection. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, Reiki has changed my life completely. It's amazing. And just like the precepts you were talking about, I live that way every day of my life. With everything, not just when I do Reiki, but with every single aspect. Like with bugs, like you said, I decided a long time ago, it's not my job to decide what gets to live or die. So I don't kill any bugs. I just have a conversation with them.
I would really appreciate it if you get off of me right now.
Yeah, it's just, and we don't have many in the house, and I don't do any pest control anymore. So it kind of works. They just stay out of my sight.
I know my daughter, she has spiders in her room and she refuses to kill them, but she has made an agreement with them. As long as you stay over there,
Mhm.
nothing is going to happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, and they probably listen too. They're like, "Well, respectfully, respect us. We'll coexist." I love that.
So Reiki. I was introduced to energy healing. Let me just
Mhm,
start with energy healing. I was introduced to energy healing at a very low time in my life. My daughter was in a car accident, and Western medicine, Western traditions wasn't helping. We were seeing a doctor, we were seeing a physical therapist, we were seeing mental therapist, we were seeing all these different doctors. They were doping her up. She wasn't getting better until I was introduced to energy healing through healing touch. When I was introduced to that, things just started happening, and I started seeing the miracle that was taking place in my daughter. And I realized that was the healing that I am supposed to be doing. Um, Healing touch wasn't, I couldn't find an instructor for healing touch around in this area. And the woman who was doing, her name was Cynthia, the woman who was doing the healing touch services, she says, well, why don't you go ahead and look into Reiki? And I said, I don't want Reiki. I want healing touch. She says, but you don't know what Reiki is.
mhm,
And she says, go ahead and look into it and talk to some people who are doing it and see exactly if it will vibe with you. 10 years later, yes, it vibes with me. I just
mhm,
um Reiki, there's a lot of misconceptions about energy healing, and New Age voodoo was the last term that I heard this past week.
mhm.
Um, and so, in your definition, did you before you and I did the Reiki when I came to your home to do Reiki? No, was it your home?
Shannon's, my friend
Okay,
Shannon's
okay,
house. Mhm.
yes, okay. Before that session, were you familiar with Reiki?
A little bit. I had a friend who had been attuned years before, but I didn't even pay attention to it, didn't even give it any thought. At the time, she was like super granola hippie, and I was just like, oh, that's one of her hippie things, you know. But I was never. I've been the kind of person who's never been like scared of anything new, though. But
Uh-huh.
so I was excited, and listening to you tell me your story the first time is what got me really interested in it. Like about your daughter and everything that you
Hmm.
went through coming from the church, and you talked a little bit about how you felt about the being ostracized from the church at the time because of Reiki and energy healing, and I felt very much the same stuff. So that's what made it like kind of sparked the passion in me to want to find more about it and to become a Reiki master myself.
Awesome. So, in your definition, what is Reiki?
It is life force energy that flows through me from the universe, not from me, but just I'm just a conduit. So I've just been tapped in because I've been attuned by you. I don't necessarily think that people need to be attuned to energy. The Reiki specifics, it's a little bit different in learning about the symbols and things like that. But to me, it's like everything. I do. It turns on sometimes during the day. I'm always healing people, even if I'm not intentionally healing people, just because of it always flowing through me and how I allow it to come through me. Um, so I don't even remember the question now.
What is Reiki to you?
Yeah, it's my life. It's my life. All energy healing is, but Reiki is where it all started for me. So it's
So,
everything.
we were trained with Usui Reiki,
Mhm.
but as I mentioned earlier, there are so many different forms of energy healing. But as far as Reiki goes, there's Usui Reiki, which is originated from Japan, but
Mhm.
there's also Kemetic Reiki, which originates from Africa. There's Crystal Reiki, there's Rainbow Reiki, there is, I have a list here, Fire Reiki, because
I've heard of fire
there's,
Reiki too.
yeah, so there are so many different forms of Reiki. Um, is there one better than the other?
I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, I don't feel that way. I think it might be better for the individual person. You know what I mean? I think there's something for everyone out there. So I don't
Hmm.
feel that my version of energy healing is better than anybody else's. I think it's like when I do think about who I want to heal me, I look at their lifestyle, and kind of, I want to make sure that I have a clear channel coming through to me. You know what I mean? I've used my discernment and my thinking to find, or actually my vibration to see what feels right for me. But I think that all energy healing is amazing. I mean, there's not one that's better than the other, I don't feel.
So my 30-second elevator speech, when people ask me what is Reiki and I'm in front of them, I give them a scenario. I ask them if I can touch them, and they all the time they say yes. And so I go to their back and I tell them, I want you to envision that you have this stream flowing from your head all the way down your spine. And when life is good, when you're happy, joyful, no stress, that stream is just a beautiful stream just flowing down nice and easy. But every so often, those darn beavers start building these dams in that stream. And then it introduces stress and angst and anger, and everything is your kids are getting on your nerve, your spouse is everything is starting to bug you because of those dams. What Reiki does, Reiki knocks out those dams so that stream can start flowing once again.
Mm-hmm.
That's my 30-second speech of what Reiki is.
I love how you just said, like, that analogy is perfect. And it's funny because it's like the damn kids, the damn stress.
I didn't say that. You said that.
But I'm working as a bartender now, and I've already given Reiki to like some people. The first day I started, the girl had a bad back. The bartender was training me. I gave her a Reiki treatment at the bar. She never had it, and so then she already started talking about it to all these other people who've never heard about it. So right there, by me just like talking to her, she spread the word about Reiki, and then now like I've got people coming from all over the country because it's a vacation place. So I'm able to drop these seeds, and then they take them with them and spread them far and wide. And I'm talking about Reiki all day long.
Yes. Awesome. At a bar while you're passing out shots.
And I'm sure that the energy's going into it too. So they're probably getting a little extra,
So there are a lot of misconceptions about Reiki. Mm-hmm. I've gotten a lot of nose ups towards me because of it. When I first started, it really bugged me. There was practitioners from church that just really got to me with the messages that were sent to me. And so my first 1 to 2 years of me doing this, it was a real struggle for me because although there is no dogma with Reiki, there's no religion attached to Reiki. People, man's ego or whatever, has attached religion. Yeah. And unfortunately, me, and disclaimer, I am a Christian. I'm a big bowl of jambalaya is what I said recently, because I have a very strong Christian foundation, but I've thrown in there a bit of pagan, a bit of Wiccan, a bit, of Buddhism, a little bit of everything that makes me, and that just makes me who I am. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not the type of person to completely dismiss my Christian background. I've seen people who do that, and it's me. That's who I am.
Yeah.
But when I started with Reiki, it was a real struggle for me because man was saying, no, you can't do that and be a Christian. Well, this was a gift given to me from God. Mm-hmm. I couldn't, this is one of my gifts. God in the Bible says every person has a gift. This is my gift. Mm-hmm. And, but still I couldn't get through to people. And I got to the point, I'm not going to argue with you. Those people who need me will find me. And those who want to argue, then I just turn a blind eye to them and say, whatever. I'm not going to argue. But there are other misconceptions about it. I know I went and I did a class, just like a 15-minute class at a massage studio. Reiki can work with any type of modality. I mean,
Mhm.
any type of healing, whether it's massage, whether it's reflexology, whether your doctor is giving you prescriptions. It doesn't replace medicine. It helps. It coincides. It goes along with the medicine.
Mhm.
But I was giving a little Reiki 101 to a bunch of students, and one student, she got up out of her chair and left the room
Mm.
because she thought that I was opening up some portal. And I know you have come across people as similar situations.
Yes.
Just, what do you say? What is your response?
Well, I don't now, I don't typically come across it too much. I don't know if I mean, I'm sure it's there. I only give attention to that which I prefer. So it's,
Hmm.
I come across more open-mindedness than closed-mindedness nowadays. But I like my mom, she has kind of, I think she goes back and forth about it. And, I just, I let them be comfortable with it. I mean, with whatever their thoughts are, because by me trying to like tell them that it's something that might even cause more of like a trigger within them. So I just stay true to who I am, and I know that I'm right with God, and that I know who I am, and I know that I'm right with Jesus and all of that. I wouldn't say I'm Christian, but I do believe in Jesus and all the religions. I think we're kind of all walking each other home to the same
Right.
place. But I feel like just standing in my truth and being that example, it's going to flow and show people that there's nothing wrong with it. And I think you're a beautiful example of that, of standing truth to your beliefs, and just I've watched you like come from that place of like still feeling kind of like ostracized a little bit, to flowing into your like beautiful, I am a Reiki master and I'm gliding through life, like a goddess. And I think that that's the best way to show anyone, because like to convince anybody, I always just end up like choking on my words and sounding dumb, but just to tell them that it's like it's just energy. It's just
Right.
energy. It's nothing to do
And
with religion.
we are all
Yeah.
energy. I mean,
Mhm.
just because you can't see it, and that's what a lot of people have issues with,
Yeah.
is the fact that they can't see it. They
Yes.
can't see the energy, therefore it doesn't exist. But
Right.
we are energy. And
Yeah.
what Reiki does is help balances out that energy
Hmm.
so things can flow the way that they need to. So you don't feel stuck and
Right.
stagnant.
Right.
So it helps break down walls and blockages that you have intentionally or unintentionally built up in your system for
Hmm.
whatever reason. It
Yep.
helps alleviate disease, or
Yes.
helps what's not alleviate, what's another word for helps, I won't use the word cure because I don't
No.
want to get sued.
Right.
Just
No, I mean, I was told I was going to have to take thyroid medication for my whole life by a doctor, and I've been able to change that within myself
uh-huh.
using energy healing and Reiki. So, I mean,
Yes.
and that's that's my personal story. So I can,
Right.
but I was told, my doctor told me, you're going to need this for your whole entire life. And I haven't had it like 3 years since I've been doing Reiki. I haven't needed it. And they did check my blood to see if I did, and I don't. So
Right.
that's like a testament right there. But like you said, when you'll ask people if you can touch them, or and so if someone is curious but acting like, oh come on, I will ask them if I can touch them and show them, and they can always feel it, even if they're skeptical. They're always like, okay, that's I can feel that,
Yeah.
so it's yeah. But I'm at the place kind of with you, where if someone doesn't believe me, it's like, okay, I wish you would, because you'd feel so much better. But
Now, it is not invasive like a
mm-mm,
massage, for
no.
instance. I mean, it's light touch. Now, I know I do prefer touching my clients. There are
Hmm.
some Reiki masters out there that don't touch, and that's personal preference. And different things that we do. Each of us have our own tools in our toolbox.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, all we need is our hands, but each of us have gravitated to different tools. I know mine
Hmm.
is through scent and essential oils. I have a friend of mine, he uses crystals.
Hmm.
And so each one of us have grown to, we've learned the basics of Reiki, and then we have formed it into something that that matches us and our personality, so to
Yes.
say. I know one of the Reiki masters that I know, she only does Reiki on animals. She doesn't even do Reiki on humans, but she went through the levels, she went through the courses to learn what Reiki was, and then her practice is solely on animals, which is totally awesome. I
That
don't
is
like
awesome.
animals like that, so that's just my personal. But it's relaxation.
Mhm.
Um, it reduces anxiety and reduces stress. I tell people when people ask, well, what is it, what to expect? I says 90% of my clients, they fall asleep on the table. That's just so at the least you're going to relax for the time that you're on a table. You are at least going to, your mind is just going to take a chill pill and relax for that 45 minutes to an hour session. That is the least amount of thing that's going to happen. As we discussed, helps with specific ailments in your body. Helps with your overall attitude.
That's true.
Perspective in life. What else can you think of?
It helps me just become non-emotional to the emotional type stuff in my life. I was able to detach from the emotionality of it and just see it from a higher perspective. When I get Reiki from you, it's like a magical thing, and only from you. I see colors, and I go on a journey of colors, and I don't even know how to describe it. I'm excited to come see you next week. But it's yeah, it's like it transcends stuff. Sometimes it'll bring things up for me, like that I need to address within myself. It's not always like fun and sunshine and roses, but it's something I'm on a path of that, and so it'll bring to the surface some things that need to come out of me. So it'll be like a feeling, and then I'll be able to see it with love, as opposed to judging myself and falling into a tailspin of tears and just like traumatic emotional situation. It's like more, I can see it with love, and it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like it's like a feather instead of being like a weight. It's like I can look at it and then kind of like, okay, I don't have to attach to that, and it can go away. But that's directly from learning Reiki and learning that stuff. Because I send mostly distance Reiki for my clients. So it's like I don't even touch them, or even sometimes I've never even met them personally. And
that is a difference between you and I, because I very rarely do distance Reiki. I like to be up close and personal with my clients. But again, that's just all preference to what we've taken, what we've learned, and what fits with us.
COVID happened, and so like right when I was
so I
don't think about doing because I do touch my family and my friends and things like that. I'll do it, but haven't done sessions like you do sessions. So I'm looking forward to getting more into that, because I love the way that you do
sessions. So a client will come in and lay down on typically a massage table. Now I have a massage table, and I have an anti-gravity chair in my studio for those who can't lay flat on a table. Typically a session will last 45 minutes to an hour. You can have mini sessions. I know when I do events, I do little 10-minute sample sessions. And when I struggled, my very first event, prior to my first event, I was trying to think, okay, what is the least amount of Reiki I can give where they will actually feel something? It's just, that was something that I was struggling with. And I settled on 10 minutes, and it's phenomenal. This one guy, I still remember, we were in an auditorium surrounded by people. I gave everybody earphones so they can listen to music, because there was a whole lot of noise all around. This guy, within probably about 2 minutes, he was sound asleep. And trying to wake him up afterwards, his wife pulled out her phone recording him, because it was so hilarious, trying to get him up, because he was just passed out within the 10 minutes that I did the session with him. And so the Reiki, the energy is going to go where it needs to go, regardless of what position you are in, where you are at. I've done Reiki sessions outside at a backpack pass out where a bunch of kids and rap music was all around, but I was focused in my zone doing Reiki sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter the location. It would be
Mm-hmm.
nice if you're nice and zenned out in a massage studio or something like that, but that's not always the case. I give myself Reiki sessions in the car,
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you can give yourself Reiki whenever. You can receive Reiki whenever.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make sure that I hit everything. Okay, so you have this session. For me personally, I like giving my clients little, I guess, homework assignments, because
Mm-hmm.
it would be totally awesome for a client to come see me every other day and doing Reiki sessions. That would be nice and beneficial for me. But at the end of the day, I want you to have the opportunity to help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I give you homework assignments to help what I feel would help you move on in whatever journey that you are on.
Yep.
Whether it's self-love affirmations, whether it's going to the beach and getting grounded, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's just drinking water,
Right.
different things to help you, because at the end of the day, we are each on this journey on our own. And you want to be able to have tools to help propel you to wherever you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love them.
for your long distance sessions, how are those?
Those, it goes like I also pull cards when I do that, because when I'm tapped into
Okay.
energy, usually I'll do like about 50 to an hour of Reiki. Sometimes, very rarely, it'll go longer, but if it does, I kind of let spirit guide me, or let the energy guide me to what the client needs. And I directly work on the chakras. So and I believe that's all correlated to our sicknesses too. So, and it just goes to where it needs. Like you said, it'll kind of goes to where it needs. And that's exactly what gets focused on. So the client decides if they want to lay down and relax. Most of my clients will go ahead and relax that while I'm sending the Reiki. Sometimes they can't,
Mm-hmm.
they have to work, but they'll just, it integrates anyway. And then we get on face chat like this. And then while I'm connected into their energy, I'll pull cards, and we usually will talk through kind of like a therapy session. It's like they just start talking about things. And I had a client who told me, we talked about some, just life stuff that was going on that was in the way of her flow. And she thought it was going to be a long process. Like the very next day, the blocks are clearing. So it's, I've been told that I help blocks clear very easily and quickly. Things that
Mm-hmm.
seem like they're going to take a long time in a natural form. So it's not as uncomfortable, as like pulling the Band-Aid off, I guess. So,
Right.
that's what I've been doing lately. And I'm not as structured as I would like to be with my sessions. And that's what I'm working towards while I'm working now. But, I love how you said about giving them homework, because we're all here to help each other remember how powerful we are ourselves.
Yeah.
And I don't worry about money at all anymore. I feel like if I'm doing what God wants me to do, then I'm always going to be divinely supported. So, and like, because money is just another form of energy. So sometimes I even will allow people to give me a crystal, or, like a recipe if they really need it, because sometimes people haven't worked out those blocks of those lack blocks to get the abundance flowing. And then that one little session can help them feel worthy of then paying for sessions for themselves in the future, so a lot of it is like working through that too, just the lack mentality and the critical mind, just because once that is gone, you're a magical being, you know what I mean? People thinking it, you're like, oh, I'm magical and nobody can tell me I'm not. So I got very woo-woo about it.
That was your word, not mine.
Yeah.
So, to end, because I know we on a time limit. Reiki is not, and I want to hold up my notes. So Reiki is non-invasive.
Mm-mm.
There is no religion attached to it. It balances your energy. It helps support your chakras.
Mm-hmm.
It could help support your chakras. And that is another thing, depending on the Reiki practitioner who's doing it.
Right.
Some Reiki practitioners do focus on chakras and others don't.
Right.
I know for me, it helps. Talking about chakras helps with homework.
Mm-hmm.
To the clients. It's something more tangible than talking about other items. The chakras is something more tangible for the client to help themselves. And
Mhm.
so I do incorporate chakra work in with my Reiki sessions. Um, it can help remove pain and discomfort, relaxation, anxiety, and stress.
Mhm.
I have several veterans who come to see me. My practice is geared towards women, but I do have this group of veterans that I do help who have PTSD. It's just, it helps with their mind. It helps settle their mind. And I'm
Mhm.
so proud that I'm able to have that group to help them because
Yes.
I know that what they have gone through. And so anybody can experience Reiki. Anybody can learn Reiki.
Mhm.
From the youngest, I personally prefer if, as long as they can read, it would really help.
Mhm.
The way that I teach, I have it modified for those who can't read yet. But from the youngest to the oldest, anybody can learn it. Anybody can incorporate it into their life. There are 3
Mhm.
levels of Reiki, of a Sui Reiki. Let me put it that way. Level 1 is for self Reiki. Level 2 is doing it on others. And level 3 is the Reiki master teacher level. Am a Reiki master. I don't like that word because I'm a master of nothing. I'm a master at learning something new every day. That's
Mhm.
what I'm a master at. But I am a teacher. And so if anybody would like to learn more, or if anybody would like to experience a long distance session with Jenny, then I will go ahead and post all of her information, post all of my information. I would love for everybody to ask questions, inquire about it. You won't learn anything if you don't ask the questions. And
Yeah.
I'm an open book,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Jenny is also.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it's really nothing to be scared of. And that I feel like if everybody's feelings are a level of their own awareness and, consciousness, but it's just a beautiful thing. It's love. I feel like it's love.
yes, it is love. Jenny, thank you so much for joining me once again
Well,
on
thank
the
you.
Reconnect All podcast. I am so grateful for having you in my life.
I
Thank
love
you,
you.
thank you, thank you. And for everybody else who is listening, thank you all. I will catch you again 9 a.m. Sunday morning. You all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Many blessings to you all. Have a wonderful day.